Who doesn't love a top 10 list? So here's a top 10 top tip list on digital signage. I am Derek DeWitt, your host, and this is Ellyce Kelly, Client Relationship Manager for Visix. Hi, Ellyce.
Hi, Derek.
How are you?
I'm doing great. I love that intro.
Here we go. I'd like to thank Ellyce for talking to me today, and I'd like to thank all of you for listening. This is digital signage done right. Whether you're new to digital signage or a seasoned pro, this podcast gives you practical advice about systems, communications, and content to better engage your audience. I'm Derek DeWitt, Communications Specialist for Visix. Welcome to Digital Signage Done Right. All right, so everybody's always looking for quick. We love top 5, top 3, top this. Give me some quick tips. So here's some quick tips for people. I got 10 of them. Okay? So great. I'm going to read them out and we'll talk about them. Number 1 tip, clean out your playlists. Meaning?
Yes. So you do not want to dig through 100 messages in your playlist, right, to try to find something.
Right.
Plus, not only that, but why do you have 100 messages? Are they all scheduled to play at the same time? Have they expired?
That's it, isn't it? Because they automatically expire and drop off. They're not being displayed.
Yes.
Out of sight, out of mind. People forget to, you do have to go in there and clean them out.
You have to clean them out unless you're using great scheduling discipline.
Right.
So if you don't schedule every single message to play always and forever, maybe put those on a recurring schedule. That's of more interest to your audience. You're maybe targeting your messages more. Then they're just going to fall out of the playlist. You don't have to do all that cleaning.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, let's say I have a bunch in there just sitting, they're not being displayed.
Sure.
Will it slow down my system?
It absolutely can slow down your system. And then, you might have some server managers not very excited.
That 4K video you're so proud of, suddenly it's dropping frames and the frame rate's reduced because you're overloading your player.
Highly possible, yes.
Yeah. I knew a guy years and years ago who called me into his office. I worked in an office. He said, "Hey, Derek, my computer's really slow." So I looked in his email inbox and he had, I'm not kidding, 8,000 emails.
Yes.
And it took us 2 hours to delete them all.
I believe it.
And then he said, "Oh my gosh, look how fast my computer is." So this is an issue, guys.
Absolutely.
Nobody likes clutter. Don't be a hoarder with expired messages. It's ridiculous.
Yes.
Yeah. How often should I do it?
So I would
best practice.
Once a month at least, unless you've got some really great scheduling discipline, as I mentioned before. Mm-hmm. So maybe once a month you could set aside a little time to make sure you don't have anything outdated or that you've got too many messages in a playlist.
All right. So that's number 1. Clean out your playlists. Number 2, design a new layout. What?
Yeah. So listen, you walk by a display. You see a layout, it's been playing the same weather in the same place, it's been playing the same messages in the same place, they're all using the same transition.
Oh, I see, yeah.
How bored are you already after seeing that a few times?
Well, the truth of the matter is, I probably will no longer notice it.
And that's exactly what happens.
We notice novelty.
We notice the new and fun and exciting and all those nice rotations and things that get your attention. But once you've seen it 1,000 times, that's it, right? You're not interested anymore. And if that content is not dynamic, it's not changing and not refreshing on a regular basis, your audience will stop looking at those screens. They will look at their phone to get whatever they need.
Yeah, I say this all the time. It's like the job of digital signage is to stop people getting their phones out.
Yes.
Unless they absolutely have to.
Yes.
What do you think? So how many kind of layouts should I have sort of in my quiver, in my arsenal?
Well, one thing that's nice is if you have several layouts that you're rotating throughout the day itself, so you're actually switching up the content, not just the messages, so the overall look of that content. But if you can get, 2 or 3 new layouts and then get them into the rotation, that'll absolutely help. Maybe do 2 or 3 rotating a day. And then if you can get maybe, try a new background color. Try
make it like an obvious change.
Yeah, make it something obvious. Like instead of
not like, well, I changed it from a 12-point font to a 13-point font.
Exactly. And don't just move the date from the top left to the lower left, or actually
so make it obvious.
Yeah, do something that's different visually that kind of grabs attention.
Okay, I like that. Number 3, refresh recurring messages.
Yes. So this is similar to layouts. You're showing the same recurring messages. They've been up for more than a month. People are tuning them out. So you really need to redesign those recurring messages, just like you're going to redesign your layouts. Just give them a different look. It's okay if the content is of interest to your audience, but they're not going to look at it if they keep seeing the same overall look and feel continuously.
This is not just, like you said with the previous thing, it's not making some small thing. Make it a big deal.
Just shake it up a little bit.
Gotcha. All right. 4, automate as much as possible. What do I automate?
Yes, so we're not just talking about date and time here. Those are obvious automating things that will auto-update, right? That's what we mean by automating.
Right.
Weather, events, these are very popular items, so, that's a time saver, right? But see if there's other things that you can automate. So, countdowns, countdown clocks, or, countdown to the holiday party, or countdown to a big trade show event that you have, every spring. There's things like that you can actually get people interested in,
right.
Or if you're having contests, anything like that you want to get people excited about. But you also can pull data from things like Excel, XML, JSON, RSS feeds, and those can even be a subscription.
Right, there are these content subscription services that have all sorts of,
yes.
Rather large number of categories.
A huge number of
already
categories.
designed for digital signage.
Already designed for digital signage. It's already got all the right look and feel. I mean, you're literally it's a one schedule deal and that's it.
Right, you set it up and then
let it go.
Your content creators
mix it in.
Aren't swamped.
They're not swamped.
I like it.
And it looks good, and it gets my attention every time I walk down the hall.
Right, okay. Yep. 5, pull in social media.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, everyone looks at social media. When's the last time you looked at social media?
About 45 minutes ago.
There you go. We all look at it, right? Doesn't matter what your age is. Everybody's got social media, right? Whether you're 5 or whether you're 55 or 105, you're going to look at social media.
Maybe not the 105.
Maybe not.
Maybe though. Maybe.
You never know. So put it on your screens. Mix it in. Just mix it in with your other content. And if you're tying that into some things that you're doing, that also gets attention, right? So especially if you, the company, so let's say Visix is promoting, something going on at the office that they want to share with the outside world and got that on social media, and then everybody's like, oh, wow, my company's got me on their social media, right?
Yeah, it's true. There's that instant gratification kind of,
Yes.
I got 3 seconds of my 15 minutes of fame that Mr. Warhol predicted everyone would have. You can use the digital signage also to try and get more followers. And
absolutely.
So it's like they help each other out.
Absolutely.
Okay. 6, use animated backgrounds. And this is an interesting thing because we all know motion. I think there's a statistic on something like motion captures the eye or is noticed by the brain. It's something like 60 times faster than still images. And they, even from memory, when people ask about recall and stuff, people remember it. Again, it's a ridiculous number. It's like 80 times more.
That's great to know. I don't even know if I knew that stat.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But I do
because
know,
that's how we evolved.
Yes.
We evolved to look for danger in the tall grass, and so motion has a tendency to immediately make us go, "Did I just see something?"
It does. It absolutely does. If you think about it, it's just like if a coyote or a deer runs past you really fast,
right?
What was that? It's the same. You're right. It's the same thing with digital.
Whereas a picture of a deer is not going to
get your attention quite the same.
Though it would be weird to see a big picture of a deer in the forest.
Be kind of odd.
Who did that? Why would you do that, you freak?
They must have some digital signage in the forest somewhere.
So, but this is, you're saying, the thing here is specifically backgrounds. Why the backgrounds?
Yep. So, you don't necessarily need all the text and everything else moving, or just one message, because that also can be that can be distracting in not a good way. You might not actually retain the information. However, if you even have just subtlety in your animation and your layout backgrounds, that looks great because it's subtle, but it's still enough to get your attention. And especially if you have kind of moving graphics, even whether they're moving fast or slow, it's still going to be enough to get your attention and pique your interest. And
right.
You want to switch that up too, of course, in those layout designs. Make sure you're doing some different things.
Right, yeah, it kind of makes, it does too, it makes the whole frame, the whole screen seem like, oh, that's much more than just one small content zone.
One little small message, yep.
Right, okay,
yep.
All right. Change your CTAs, meaning your calls to action. Why change them? I spent all this time getting it just right. Now you want me to change them?
Well, I'll be quite honest with you, Derek. I'm not a big fan, personally of, for example, you give me a small or tiny URL, right? You told me to go to this URL.
Right, one of those vanity URLs, yeah.
Yes, but that works great for a lot of people. A lot of people would rather have that. I'm a big fan of, hey, why don't you take a picture of this screen and email it to this or post it here
or text it or whatever.
Or text it or whatever to get you involved. And so the call to action is going to be different experience for different users and viewers. So we want to kind of expand that. And you want to measure which ones are most popular. What's working and what's not, or is there a combination of different types that work better?
I mean, yeah, if you've got, I don't know, let's just say you're doing a public-facing digital signage deployment, you guesstimate or estimate or maybe even know that you get 2,000 people a week, and this short URL is only getting 3.
Right.
Maybe you can just drop that all together.
Exactly. But maybe you take a picture of this message and send it here or post it here, and you get 50.
Right.
Maybe you get more.
I mean, what's your opinion on QR codes?
So QR codes they're actually pretty becoming, I think, a little more popular. I feel like
I feel like they're here now in the States.
Yes.
They're being used.
Yes, they actually weren't it took a little while, I feel like, for those to get going.
Yeah.
But it's very easy to use, and I do see a lot of our customers are using those and having some success with that.
Right. So you're saying change it up so that you get different types of audience, and also it kind of lets you do like an A/B testing.
It lets you do A/B testing, and plus too, you're covering everybody, right? So you're getting the people like me that don't like the short URLs. That's just a personal weird thing. I don't really know why, but you give me. I know I'm not doing it, but you give me I don't know if I wouldn't do it, but you give me a QR code or take a picture or do something kind of easy like that, and I'm in. I'm game.
Okay. Number 8 here is walk around.
Yes. Oh, I cannot tell you how critical this is. So everywhere I've been on site, right, you cannot run a successful digital signage system without seeing what is your audience doing. Are they walking past all your displays and doing nothing by not looking at them? I have seen, though, people walk right past those signs and nothing happened, and then we get some content change that's got some animation, or we make some big changes to that message content, and all of a sudden people are looking. Now, obviously, if they see you standing around in front of the screen and you're staring at it and taking pictures of it, they're going to look at you and be like, what are these people looking at? So then they are going to look at the screen. I'm not saying you need to spy on your audience, but take a step back and just watch people walk by. You'd be amazed.
A note.
Yeah, you'd be amazed, though. And it's so refreshing when I see people turning their heads to see what's on a display. I saw that recently at a local university, a big university, and just heads turning to look up to see what was projected on the wall. I loved it. It was great.
That's cool.
Yep.
And also, you're also putting yourself in your audience's shoes, and so you can kind of go, that's interesting. I thought for sure when we designed this that this would be the element that would stand out, but actually my eye's falling here first.
Exactly. Yep. And you can even see that with your audience.
Right.
And you can kind of see where they're looking.
And then sort of an extension of that to get more feedback and allow you to improve and constantly be fixing and improving your offering is number 9. Do a survey.
Surveys. I mean, why wouldn't you do a survey? This seems so
because
logical.
nobody will do it, because it's too long, because it's a pain in the neck.
So let's maybe make it an interesting, let's give them something for doing the survey. Like we'll have a big drawing or a winner that, we're going to pick 10 people that replied to this survey, and we're going to give them a $25 Amex card, or if it's not that, maybe free coffee.
But first off, not too long, right?
No,
it's better. I think it's better to do more frequent short ones than one, like once a quarter, do a 20-question survey. I don't think you're going to get as much response as if at once a month you did a 4-question survey.
Yes, and one of those questions would be, what do you want to see on the screen? Now, some people will need some prompts, but can you imagine just, Derek, what do you want to see on the screen? Just tell me. We're going to make it happen.
Food pictures.
Food, we can do that.
Yeah.
Got some great menu boards over here in the... No.
And so, so you're going to ask what people want to see. What else would you ask on there?
Well, see if they remember certain messages or calls to action that you've already put out there, so that you can repeat those again.
In the last week or 2 weeks, name three things you remember seeing.
Yes. What are 3 things you remember seeing? And if they can only remember 2, at least you've still got that information to move forward with.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's pretty direct ROI right there. Right?
It really is.
And number 10.
Yes.
Gamification. Try gamification. It's such the buzzword. I have to wonder how many U.S. companies, or even any companies, are doing it. What do you think? Should they?
Who doesn't love games?
Yeah.
Everybody loves games. Mm-hmm. This is how you get your audience engaged. I love gamification, and I'm terrible at games. I'm terrible at winning games, to be quite honest. But run a contest. Give out prizes, points, create a leaderboard. Who's in first? How much time is left? Don't worry, there's still time to play. Right? It just gets everybody involved, and it creates culture, and it's a fun thing to do.
And in order to really focus it on the digital signage, or maybe not, I don't know, is it a good idea to also throw it up on your social media and your intranet and all this, or just the digital signage?
That's a great point. If you keep it limited, and really limited is not the right word, maybe exclusive to your digital signage.
Nice. That's very high class, that word.
It is, isn't it? Yes. That way you can judge success, right? You're not going to be able to judge it if you're posting it and using a bunch of other mediums.
Right. How are you going to know
exactly
which one
How do you know
which one?
Yes, which one worked.
Right. Okay. That is fast and easy. 10 tips. Clean your playlists out, design a new layout, refresh recurring messages, automate whenever you can, put in social media, use animated backgrounds, change your calls to action, walk around and see what's going on, survey your audience, and finally, gamify what you're doing. Thank you very much for talking to me, Ellyce.
Thank you, Derek.
And thank you, everybody, for listening.
Hey, want more free stuff? Then head to the resources section of Visix.com for free masterclass guides, blogs, videos, and more to help you with your digital signs. Please share, subscribe, and leave a review of this episode, and connect with us on social media.